Interfacial tension is associated with option A, solid-solid interface, two immiscible liquids, gas-gas interface, vacuum only. The answer is B, that is two immiscible liquids. Hello viewers, today's video topic is interfacial tension. So what is interfacial tension here? So it is the force acting at the boundary between two immiscible liquids that tend to reduce the area of the contact between them. So actually interfacial tension is going to happen in immiscible liquids. So what are immiscible liquids? The best example is oil and water. Means when immiscible liquids are the liquids which when we are going to try to mix up with each other, they do not mix. They always keep separate or remain separately as two phases. So they don't mix. So the boundary or interface forms between them. The molecules at this boundary experiences a unequal attractive forces, producing a interfacial tension. So here these molecules will experience a unequal attractive force. That is why this interfacial tension is formed. So here the simple definition of interfacial tension is, it is the force acting per unit length at the interfacial tension between two immiscible liquids. So we are going to use this formula to measure this interfacial tension, whereas this one is gamma, which is called as interfacial tension. F is force, L is equal to length. So what is the importance of studying this interfacial tension? According to the GPAT point, so interfacial tension is very important in preparation of emulsions, suspensions, in improving the wetting properties, and in studying the drug dissolution or increasing the drug dissolution, then pharmaceutical formulations preparation. So here one point is to be noted, that lower the interfacial tension, easier to mix the two immiscible phases, and there is a better formulation and good stability in the pharmaceutical product. So here is the table which contains these headings, that is topic, then GPAT priority, and what the students are supposed to study regarding that topic. The first one is surface tension. So it is having high value, and what's supposed to study in this topic is definition, factors, methods, and applications. Then interfacial tension, it is also a very important topic. Here the students supposed to study definition, principle, liquid-liquid interface. Then surfactants. So this is also having a high weightage. You're supposed to study here HLB, SCMC, adsorption, surface tension, and reduction. Then measurement of surface tension or interfacial tension, it also having a high priority, like using stalagnometer and drop weight and drop number methods. Surface free energy study, moderately high. You're supposed to study the concept and the relationship in this. Then wetting, it is also having a high demand, that is the contact angle spreading up. Then applications. Then HLB, that is hydrophilic lipophilic balance study, it is also having high demand, and the values you're supposed to study. Then applications, then emulsifiers. Then what is the difference between surface tension and interfacial tension? It exists at a liquid gas interface. It exists between two immiscible liquids. Example is water and air. Here example is oil and water. Here surface of the liquid, it happens. Here it happens in boundaries between the liquids. So it is usually represented by this symbol, that is gamma. It is usually represented by this symbol, that is gamma tool. Then it is important in wetting. It is very important in preparation of emulsions. A simple example like GPAT MCQ type question. So suppose interfacial tension is associated with option A, solid-solid interface, two immiscible liquids, gas-gas interface, vacuum only. The answer is B, that is two immiscible liquids. Then the factors which are going to affect the interfacial tension. The first one is nature of the liquid. Different liquids have different molecular interactions. Therefore, interfacial tension is also going to vary with the nature of the two phases. Then temperature. Increase in the temperature decreases the interfacial tension. So increase in the temperature increases the molecular motion and generally weakens the effective cohesive forces or interactions. Then surfactants. Adding an appropriate surfactant generally decreases the interfacial tension. This is the one of the major pharmaceutical applications. Then impurities. Certain dissolved substances can either increase or decrease the interfacial tension depending on their nature and concentration. For the GPAT purpose, focus particularly on the surface active agents, which is going to reduce the surface and interfacial tension.